This lesson includes all irregular verbs. They are past simple and past participle forms. I also provided some example sentences for each one of them. Past participle is used in passive voice, for example, in present perfect, in past perfect, in future perfect. Be, was, were, been. Beat, beat, beaten. Become, became, become. Begin, began, begun. Bend, bent, bent. Bet, bet, bet. Examples. She was in Spain last year. She has been to Spain twice. Tom beat me at tennis yesterday afternoon. Our team was easily beaten in the first round of the competition. After giving up smoking, he became overweight and irritable. He has just become a father. The film began at 7. The bridge was begun 5 years ago. I bent down and picked up the coins lying on the road. She has bent 3 times so far in an attempt to touch her toes. She bet £500,000 on the horse that came in second. He has bet only a few times in his life. The next one. Bite, bit, beaten. Bitten. Blow, blew, blown. Break, broke, broken. Bring, brought, brought. Broadcast, broadcast, broadcast. Build, built, built. Examples. An insect bit me on the arm. He has been bitten twice by a dog. I blew the dust off the books. A strong wind had blown the fence down. The dish fell to the floor and broke. I think I've broken your phone. When they visited us, they brought their dog with them. The rules will be brought into action next week. Television camera crews broadcast the event all around the world. The ceremony was broadcast on the internet. They built a new bridge. These old houses are built of stone. The next one. Bust, bust, bust. Buy, bought, bought. Catch, caught, caught. Choose, chose, chosen. Come, came, come. Cost, cost, cost. Examples. She burst into tears and ran from the kitchen. The tire has burst twice since they started their journey. Mary bought a new pair of shoes yesterday. The mansion was bought by Mr. Gray. He caught hold of her arm. 2 armed men were caught trying to cross the frontier at night. Peter chose to study chemistry. I've chosen a present for Louis. The door opened and a nurse came into the room. I've come to tell you that I am leaving. It cost a lot to buy a house in that part of Sydney. It has cost a lot to repair the house, and now I have barely any money left. The next one. Creep, crept, crept. Cut, cut, cut. Deal, dealt, dealt. Dig, dug, dug. Do, did, done. Draw, drew, drawn. Example sentences. He crept downstairs, hardly making any noise. The spider has just crept up the wall. He cut the cake into 6 pieces and gave each child a slice. Where did you have your hair cut? He dealt out the cards. He hasn't dealt the cards yet. The dog dug a hole to hide its bone in. The tunnel was dug with the aid of heavy machinery. She did her homework last night. I have already done my homework. The artist drew her self-portrait last month. I have drawn a couple of pictures and I would like you to take a look at them and tell me what you think. The next one. Drink, drank, drunk. Drive, drove, driven. Eat, ate, eaten. Fall, fell, fallen. Feed, fed, fed. Feel, felt, felt. He drank 3 glasses of water. She has drunk 3 cups of coffee today. I drove my daughter to school. They were driven back by the police. He ate a hamburger for lunch. He has eaten 3 times today. He fell badly and broke his leg. The object appeared to have fallen from a great height. We fed the kids some leftovers. She has fed her baby a few times this morning. He felt insecure about his ability to do the job. Never in her life had she felt so happy. The next one: fight, fought, fought. Find, found, found. Flee, fled, fled. Fly, flew, flown. Forbid, forbade, forbidden. Forget, forgot, forgotten. Examples: the children fought in the playground. Rebels have fought fierce battles with government forces. The old lady found a pot of gold on her way home. Doctors haven't found a cure for Parkinson's yet. She fled from the room in tears. It is likely that suspects have fled the country by now. As soon as it saw us, the bird flew away. She has flown to Tokyo. He forbade me to tell anyone what he had done. He is forbidden from leaving the country. I completely forgot about Jenny's party. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. Forgive, forgave, forgiven. Freeze, froze, frozen. Get, got, give, gave, given. Go, went, gone. Grow, grew, grown. Examples: she finally forgave him for lying to her. I don't think she has ever quite forgiven me for getting her name wrong that time. She saw someone outside the window and froze. The ground had frozen hard. Samuel got a really nice present from his girlfriend. We hadn't even got as far as London when the car broke down. My friend gave me a gift yesterday. Has the director given you permission to do that? I went to the supermarket and got some bread. Peter isn't here at the moment. He has gone shopping. They grew up in a small town. She has grown 3 centimeters this year. The next one: hang, hung, hung. Have, had, had. Hear, heard, heard. Hide, hid, hidden. Hit, hit, hit. Hold, held, held. Example sentences: a heavy gold necklace hung around her neck. Many of his finest pictures are hung in the National Gallery. The family had a bad experience abroad. They still hadn't had any news when I spoke to them yesterday. She heard a noise outside. Have you heard what's happened? She hid her diary under her pillow. A kilogram of heroin was found hidden inside the lining of the suitcase. She hit another pupil and was expelled from school. One journalist was hit in the head. The little girl held her mother's hand. The parts are held together with glue. Hurt, hurt, hurt. Keep, kept, kept. Kneel, knelt, knelt. Know, knew, known. Lay, laid, laid. Lead, led, led. Emma hurt her back when she fell off her horse. Several people were seriously hurt in the explosion. I kept a diary when I was a child. I've kept all my grandmother's jewelry. He knelt in front of the altar and prayed. They had knelt down and prayed before they embarked on their trip to America. The student knew all the answers. Even small amounts of these substances are known to cause skin problems. She laid the baby on the bed. We are having a new carpet laid in the hall next week. The local youth band led the parade this weekend. It is worrying that such a prominent politician is so easily led. Leave, left, left. Lend, lent, lent. Let, let. Lie, lay, lane. Light, lit, and lose, lost, lost. The bus left at 2 p.m. I'll have to go back. I think I've left the iron on. She lent me some money. He said he had lent me some book. Her parents let her stay up late. He's let his children travel on their own. The town lay in ruins. The church has lain empty and unused since 1994. He lit his 5th cigarette in half an hour. The stage had been lit with the candles. He lost his job last year. I've lost my ticket. Make, made, made. Mean, meant, meant. Meet, met, met. pay, paid, paid, put, read, read. Examples. She made a chocolate cake. The pot is made to withstand high temperatures. Do you think she meant to say 9 a.m. instead of 9 p.m.? The books with large print are meant for partially sighted readers. She met an interesting man at a party last week. The workers' demands for higher pay were not met by the management. I paid the driver in cash. Most of these women are very poorly paid and work in terrible conditions. She put her clothes in the cupboard. Where have you put the keys? I read about the family's success in the local paper. I've read in the newspapers that there is a threat of war. The next one, ride, rode, ridden, ring, rang, rung, rise, rose, reason, run, ran, run, say, said, said, see, saw, seen. Examples. She mounted her horse and rode off. She has ridden a horse 3 times. The doorbell rang. The telephone has rung 10 times this morning. The balloon rose gently up into the air. This was a company that had risen from the dead. A little girl ran up to me. The first 2 races will be run in 20 minutes. She said goodbye to all her friends and left. It is said that Latin is a difficult language to learn. She saw her children playing in the garden. I haven't seen Jerry around in the last few weeks. Seek, sought, sought, sell, sold, sold, send, sent, sent, set, set, sow, sowed. Past participle can be sown or sowed. Shake, shook, shaken. Examples. She sought medical attention when symptoms got worse. Legal advice should be sought before you take any further action. I sold my car to him for a small sum of money. The business was sold at an enormous profit. They sent her flowers for her birthday. A letter was sent to her last week. He set a vase of flowers on the table. The campsite is set in the middle of a pine forest. He sewed the badge neatly onto his uniform. His finger was cut off when he caught it in a machine, but it was sewn back on by the surgeon. Anna shook some powdered chocolate over her coffee. Babies like toys that make a noise when they are shaken. The next one, shine, shone, shone, shoot, shot, shot, show, showed, shown or showed, shrink, shrank, shrunk, shut, 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 and sing, sang, sung. Examples. The sun shone all afternoon. Her dark eyes have shone with happiness the whole morning. He shot 8 children. A policeman was shot dead in the city center last night. He showed her the new book he had bought. Our research has shown us how little we know about this disease. I shrank my sweater by putting it in the dryer. The company's profits have shrunk from $5.5 million to $1.25 million. Mary shut her book and put it down on the table. I've shut the door so that the cat can't get out. She sang a beautiful song yesterday. She has sung 3 songs so far. Sing, sang, sung, sit, sat, sat, sleep, slept, slept, slide, slid, slid, speak, spoke, spoken, spend, spent, spent. The Titanic was a passenger ship which sank to the bottom of the ocean in 1912. 2 battleships were sunk by enemy aircraft. He came and sat down next to me. As soon as he had sat down, he began writing. She slept very well last night. I haven't slept well lately. He slid the letter into his pocket while no one was looking. He has slid back into his old bad habits. For 5 whole minutes, neither of them spoke a word. Have you ever spoken about that? We spent a fortune when we were in New York. We've just spent $1.9 million on improving our computer network. Spit, spat, spat, split, 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 spread, 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 spring, sprang, sprung, stand, stood, stood, steal, stole, stolen. He spat the meat out in disgust. She spat in her brother's face, and now he's so angry. The teacher split the children into 3 groups. The prize was split between Susan and Kate. The fire spread rapidly because of the strong wind. The virus is spread through contact with blood and other body fluids. I sprang out of bed to answer the door. A range of coffee shops have sprung up across the city. He stood outside the door, eavesdropping on their conversation. She has stood there for hours, waiting for him. Burglars broke into the house and stole a computer. A few computers were stolen from the company. Stick, stuck, stuck, sting, stung, stung, stink, stank, stunk, strike, struck, struck, swear, swore, sworn, and sweep, swept, swept. Anne stuck a picture of her boyfriend on the wall. The cake had stuck to the sides of the tin. A wasp stung him. He was stung by a wasp. The kitchen stank of fish. The dog has stunk badly lately. His car went out of control and struck a tree. 2 climbers were struck by falling rocks. He was sent home because he swore at the teacher. I could have sworn that she said she lived in Canterbury. She swept past me in the corridor. She has just swept the floor. Swim, swam, swam, swing, swung, swung, take, took, taken, teach, taught, taught, tear, tore, torn, and tell, told, told. We swam ashore. He has never swum with dolphins. The door swung shut. He has swung the hammer with all his strength. I took a few personal belongings with me. What supplies has he taken with him? She taught at Harvard University for years. All children should be taught the fundamentals of science. I tore the letter he had written to me. The nail had torn a hole in my skirt. He told me about his new school. She has told a few lies. Think, thought, thought. Throw, through, thrown. Understand, understood, understood. Wake, woke, woken. Wear, wore, worn. Weep, wept, wept. Win, won, won, and write, wrote, written. Examples. Jane thought about his proposal. Caviar is thought to be a luxury. My friend threw the ball to me. The coat was thrown over the back of the chair. I understood what she was talking about. A secret buyer is understood to have paid $1 million for the painting. She woke up at 6 a.m. We were woken in the night by some strange noise. The politician wore a confident smile throughout the interview. Have you worn this dress before? He wept tears of rage when he heard the news. She has wept since she received the bad news. He won first prize. This is the 3rd medal she's won this season. I wrote my sister a letter. She hasn't written to me recently.